Hello, are you ready for tonight's story? Well, tonight we're going to read a book called Don't Call Me Pruneface, and it's by Janet Ahearn. Are you ready? I'm a good boy. Everybody says so. Grandma says, "Paulie, you are as good as gold." I thought I was pretty good too until Prudence moved in next door. Prudence is a lunatic. Prudence walks her cat on a leash, but mostly the cat walks on Prudence. Grandma says, "Don't judge a book by its cover." I'm giving Prudence 1 week to change my mind. Day 1, I meet Prudence. I say, "I'm Paul, welcome to the neighborhood." "Hi, Pill," Prudence says. "I'm Paul," I says. "My dog's name is Bobo." Prudence says, "I shall call your dog Oops, as in, oops, what a mistake giving that cute dog to you." 1 day down, 6 to go. Day 2, I meet the cat. Prudence says, my cat's name is Scratch. Want to pet him?" Just then Scratch hisses and his hair stands up all over. Prudence says, "I can tell Scratch likes you a lot. Did I mention that Prudence is a lunatic?" Day 3, dumb, a matter of opinion. I say, "Prudence, look. See the string between our 2 windows? The boy who lived in your house and I used the string for sending secret messages. It's a cool invention." Prudence says, "It's the dumbest thing I've ever seen." Well, the dumbest thing I've ever seen is that cat on a leash. Day 4, eyes and flies. The doorbell rings. It's Prudence. She sticks her tongue out at me. Then she says, "Hello, Four Eyes." I tell Grandma about Prudence. Grandma says, "You catch more flies with honey." Sometimes I have no idea what Grandma's talking about. Bobo and I have a talk in my room. He's a good listener. He's the only one who understands. Bobo thinks Prudence is a creep. "That's mean," I say. Bobo just stares at me. Grandma would say that Bobo stood his ground. Day 5, cooties. Prudence and I wait for the school bus. I say, "May I stand under your umbrella, Prudence?" Prudence says, "Ew, stay away from me, cootie." I say, a cootie is actually an insect called a cockroach. Prudence says, "Then you're a cootie cockroach with glasses." Grandma always says, "Let a smile be your umbrella." Grandma never waited for the bus with Prudence. I tell Bobo, I have a new name for Prudence. I call her Pruneface. Bobo thinks Pruneface is a perfect name for her, but I won't call her that to her face. I'm not mean. I'll just keep it between Bobo and me. Day 6, a froggy day. I'm walking Bobo. Pruneface is walking Scratch. Pruneface says, "Oops is so cute." "You're cute too, Pill, for a frog." I say, "Frogs are very important to our ecosystem, Prudence." And I walk away. I call her Pruneface, but only in my head. Bobo hears me. That night, I dream I'm a tiny dancing frog puppet, and Pruneface is pulling my strings. I wake up. It's time to stop, Pruneface. Grandma would say, "Face your fears. Tomorrow I will talk to Pruneface." Unless any of these things happen. I get my own talk show. Bobo and I go on the run. The scary shrub in our garden eats me. I put on my baby sister's sweater by mistake and it has to be surgically removed. I'm arrested when Bobo poops on Mr. Peeper's lawn. Again. Day 7. Time's up. None of these things happen. Bobo and I go see Pruneface. She's dressing Scratch in a pirate costume. I say, please don't call me Pill anymore. Pruneface says, okay, I'll call you Cootie Cockroach Four Eyes Frog Face Peahead. And I say, why are you so mean, Pruneface? Pruneface screams silently. Her mouth is a perfect O. Then she runs inside her house. I yell, flies eat honey. I have no idea what I'm talking about. I feel bad all day. I stay in my room with Bobo. I don't tell Mom or Dad or Grandma what I've done. I brush my teeth, make my bed, and help Grandma fold the laundry. Paulie, you're as good as gold, Grandma says. If she only knew. That night, Bobo is barking. He sees a note clipped to the string outside my window. The note is in code, DCMPF EOD. What does it mean? I turn over the note and find out. Don't call me Pruneface. End of discussion. I write back, DCBO, DCMP, DCMCCFEFFPH. Bobo doesn't like my note. He thinks I used too many exclamation marks. The next morning, I wake up and look outside. Bobo is playing fetch with Prudence. How did that happen? I call Bobo and he comes running to me. Prudence comes running too. She says, I never liked dogs, but Bobo's the coolest. Can I walk him, Paul? My grandma says you don't know someone until you walk a mile in their shoes. I have no idea what that means, but I let Prudence walk Bobo, and I walk Scratch. Prudence and I do not switch shoes. I don't wear pink sandals. Dealing with bullies is tricky business. Jesus says we're supposed to be kind to each other. Jesus says when we get hit, we're not supposed to hit back. We're not supposed to get into fights. We're not supposed to call each other names. But Paul, in this book, tried as hard as he could to be nice to Prudence. It wasn't until he gave Prudence an idea of what it felt like to be on the receiving end of the bullying that Prudence came around. Sometimes that's what it takes for us to realize that others are hurting, that others get their feelings hurt, or that others are being treated unfairly. Sometimes, like Prudence, we have to be shown what it's like to be on the other side. We have to be shown what it's like to be receiving whatever treatment they're receiving. That's what his grandma meant by it helps to walk a mile in another's shoes. It doesn't really mean that you have to put on pink sandals like Prudence was wearing and walk in her shoes. Literally, it means try to picture what it's like to be the other person. Prudence needed to see what it was like to be Paul, to have someone call you names all the time, to have somebody make fun of your pet. Once Prudence got the idea that being called names is hurtful and that it hurts your feelings, like when she got called Pruneface, did she understand that she needed not to call Paul names anymore either, or make fun of his dog. And once she saw that, they were able to be friends. Jesus wants us to understand what it's like to be in the situation someone else is in. He says we should love others as we love ourselves. He says we should do unto others as we would have them do unto us. That means we need to treat others like we want to be treated. Do we want to be called names? No. So we don't need to call somebody else names. Do we want things taken away from us? No. So we don't need to take things away from somebody else. Do we want to be hit or ridiculed or hurt? No. So we don't need to hit or hurt or ridicule anyone else. This is a valuable lesson that Jesus teaches us. It's so valuable that people call it the golden rule, because gold is so valuable. And do you know why Jesus would come and teach us this golden rule, this really important lesson? It's because he loves us this much and wants us to love each other this much. So God bless you. God bless you that you remember always that you are the beloved child God created you to be. Good night.